Go on. No more about that. Go on. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Oh, hello, Paul. You cut one. Good evening, everyone, and welcome along to our RWA podcast. And tonight we are joined by Huddersfield Town Fan TV, and it's joined by Ryan from there. So, good evening, Ryan, to you. And we'll get over to you in a minute. We've got Paul Wilson and Alf Vermacken.
Good evening. Hello.
Good evening. Good evening, Alf. So, we've got a lot to cover tonight. We've got the Huddersfield game and the Birmingham game to cover. Also, we have the West Brom game to talk about. So, a lot of talking points between those two games. And obviously,
we've slept so many times since the West Brom game, mate. Come on.
So, obviously, we'll go back to Saturdays first because we had a 2-1 win over Birmingham. Obviously, Ahmad scored that goal and Trey Hume scored his first goal at Sunderland. So, Paul, 2-1 win over Birmingham. What was your thoughts against that? Sorry.
To be honest, I was actually over the moon. As well, Trey Hume actually got his first Sunderland, second goal actually for the football club. I know it's the first one at the Stadium of Light, but he actually scored in pre-season.
Mm-hmm.
Against Dundee, I think it was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I'm over the moon for him to actually score his first one and at the Stadium of Light. But I was actually pleased with that performance.
Mm-hmm. Anything else to add, Paul?
Dennis Serkin shouldn't have been sent off.
Oh man, yes, he should have.
He shouldn't, should he? Really?
Yes, he should have. Yes, he should have. 2 yellow cards. It was definitely 2 yellow cards. I know it might have affected our result against Huddersfield Town, but it was 2 yellow cards. If it was any other team in that was, if he was wearing a different coloured shirt, we'd be screaming for those to be yellow cards. We would.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that. The one thing that I think is different in that one incident, though, is I think the Birmingham player who gave Serkin his bloody nose should have also gotten a card. But that didn't happen. But yeah, he did deserve 2 yellow cards. But also, I think it was a bit lenient, the referee on Birmingham.
We've got Lakeisha Cameron Jude in the chat. She says, all right, lads. Yeah, we are all right. We are all right. I won't be long, lads, as well from Acacia. No worries at all, Acacia. You just take your time. And we've got Danny Howie. He says, if you can let Rosie know that please be in at her door, look for her in the landlord.
Well, that sounds like drama.
That sounds like real drama. That sounds like real drama.
Yeah.
Amph, 2-1 win over Birmingham on Saturday. What about you?
I thought the better team won. I was very disappointed that Birmingham were able to snatch an early goal and we had to fight from behind to get back into that game. Beyond that, I think Sunderland did control it for the most part. Birmingham looked very, very, very strong and a big threat on the counter-attack. Beyond that, they were basically parking the bus 9 times out of 10. So the better team won. I think a point in that match would have been unfair for Sunderland. The fact that we had to play 10 minutes towards the end of the game with that 10 men down showed you how strong our defence can be when they want to be. So pleased with the 3 points. It kept us in the running for the playoffs. And yeah, I was hoping it continued into the next game as well, but clearly that wasn't to be. So thanks Huddersfield.
So obviously, we've seen some flares getting thrown down at Birmingham as well, didn't we, Paul? And it hit a lot.
Oh, yes.
What was your thoughts on that?
To be honest, I actually feel sorry for that fan because that supporter spoke to BBC Newcastle actually after the game, and actually said that the fan actually said that they're actually frightened to actually come back to the Stadium of Light after that. Because the club's not going to put anything up.
Yeah.
What about you, Amph? Are you the same as Paul, obviously?
About the fan incident, I think it's an absolute scumbag move, to be honest. Like I said on the Mac on Football podcast about we're not free of the flair sin ourselves. We can't say like all our fans are completely. We're not all angels when it comes to bringing flares to games. We've done it in the past. I think the Birmingham fan, just because of where they're located, it allowed for that potential vulnerability of somebody having a really weak or dodgy throw and it not making the pitch, because that's what the guy was clearly aiming for the pitch after the Birmingham goal, and it fell straight down onto the disabled kid. Could have landed on anybody around that area. By the way, landing on that kid is obviously really upsetting to that kid, but it could have landed on anybody else in that area, and they were all in danger of that happening. So for me, it's not a story about that kid being injured. It's more a story around how preventable it was from a club's standpoint. Put nets in front of the away ends if we've got to keep them in the god tiers, or move them on a level where they have like not direct pitch access, but they don't have like Sunderland fans underneath them. I think it's logical. Move them or put a net in the way. It's the only way we're going to prevent that kind of thing happening, because the security measures next year are going to be non-existent as well. We've got digital scanning and fast access. Do you think with fast access you're going to have extra security checks? That's not happening. So
will it be worse?
It's probably going to be worse. Yeah. So yeah, very preventable. Stupid. I don't know. There's lots of club. I think Sunderland are a little bit to blame for it, to be honest. But there you go.
Yeah.
There is
well,
as well. There wasn't just flares that was thrown. Well, Nick Bond said there was actually coins.
Yeah,
that was actually thrown as well.
Yeah, but I get that. But like, we threw stuff at other opposition players when we were losing at the Stadium of Light, so we're not free of that sin as well. People are bringing stuff into the stadium and throwing them. I don't know. It's just thugs being idiots, really. You can only prevent it by banning the people who are caught. Make examples of them.
Well, the options are: 1, the security and the stewards are not searching them. 2, they're just letting them run nilly-nilly and they're just letting them run in. Or 3, they're probably just going to put them in children's bags, because obviously the children can't get searched and children will just take them in. That's the problem.
No, to be fair, mate, like it might be that case, but when we went to Wembley, we had about 20 flares off at the end of the 90. They all made it through a lot more rigorous checks than is happening at the Stadium of Light. It's a pat down search, a metal detector, and bag searches. Like, that's 3 searches that goes on to everybody going into the game. Logistically, we're not going to stop it. The only thing that's going to stop it is the fans stop doing it themselves. So just punish people who bring pyrotechnics. If you see pyrotechnic being brought in, as a fan, just report it. Like, you're not going to, because it does add a bit of extra atmosphere, especially at like big games, big Wembley games, or big derbies or something like that. You're going to see flares, and people are going to enjoy it.
Of course,
it's part of the culture. We just need to change the culture. So, bit of a tangent.
Before I move on, what I'm going to say next, George Huddersfield sounds in the chat. He says, "Evening all." Hiya, George. How are you? You alright? What I've said before, it's either move the away fans somewhere else, or that's the only option, basically. And obviously, quite a few people have signed a petition about moving the away fans. And hopefully that's the case, and I hope that gets sorted because it needs to be sorted. Because if it doesn't get sorted, things are just going to happen and happen and happen every single home game at the Stadium of Light. Because the away fans are on top and they're just going to chuck things down. That's all we're going to do. Because we've got no else better to do.
Well, at the moment, they'll not move them because have you seen how many season tickets we've sold for next season? They'll not move them.
Yeah. Exactly. Right. Anyways, we will move. Oh, go on, Alf.
I'll just say with the season ticket thing, it's all digital season tickets now, unless they've prepaid for exact seating. Then that can be moved. So my suggestion would be, if we are going to move them, make them so it's like the shortest journey from the bus in the car park to the turnstile. So like literally just put barriers up from the car park to there, and that's how the fans get in.
Yeah, that's a good idea, to be honest. So we're going to move on to Huddersfield Town now. Sunderland 1, Huddersfield Town 1. Obviously, Gelhardt scored a goal for us last night in the 28th minute. And obviously, Huddersfield equalised. I think it was just after half time that equalised in about the hour mark, I think it was. So, Ryan, you could go first this time because what did you think on the 1-1 draw, mate? What did you think?
Well, I was certainly happy coming away from the stadium for sure. I think, going to the game, I was fearing the worst a bit, really, because obviously I know it was going to be a difficult game. Obviously at the Stadium of Light, obviously, really difficult place to go. But yeah, obviously, it was a good game. Obviously, first time for us, it was quite questionable, not really that great. Obviously, we stepped up in the second half, of course. Neil Warnock working his magic in the dressing room as he's done over the years, as we know. But and then after we came out with a different team, we played a lot better in that second half. And I think, especially after Saturday as well. Obviously, we were so poor against Swansea on Saturday, so certainly a big improvement last night. Of course, it was good to obviously come to the game, obviously first time at the Stadium of Light. Nice to tick off a new ground, very nice ground, very good experience for sure. But yeah, obviously the goals, your goal, it was a good goal to be fair, but obviously it did come from a missed interception from Kasumu, who does like a challenge, if you could say so. Sometimes does have to control himself a bit. But obviously he missed the ball, and obviously he was set off, obviously then he was away then really. Obviously a good goal. But yeah, obviously we showed that character in the second half and came out and gave you a game in that second half, definitely. Obviously Josh Koroma, brilliant player. Josh Koroma, since he come back from Portsmouth on loan, obviously was on loan at Portsmouth on the season. Looks a completely different player now. Honestly, his confidence, Neil Warnock has really helped him, and he's scoring goals now, contributing massively. And yeah, so like I said, we could quite easily have won that game, I think, but could probably say you could have easily won that game as well, maybe in chance that you had as well. So, but I certainly think in the second half, towards the end, we were really pushing for what we looked like. I think, from my perspective, we looked like we were the most likely to score. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it felt like that to me anyway. I don't know, but yeah, we'll take the point. Obviously, we've got a bit of a break now. Obviously, we're not playing this weekend. We're meant to play Sheffield United this weekend, but obviously it's been moved because they're in the FA Cup. So yeah, we've got a free weekend. So, but yeah, good point. We'll take the. Like I said, it's a tough place to go this stadium. Obviously, it was a stadium that has always been a tough place to go for sure. And yeah, I don't know what else to say really, but really happy with the performance, and we have to be consistent going forward now. So these last few games, they're massive games for us. Hopefully, we can stay up, but it's really tight down there for sure. But yeah.
Can I just say how well behaved the Huddersfield fans were last night? No throwing stuff into the home end. Yeah, that's all I've had to say as well. Just before, well done all the Huddersfield fans. No throwing flares, no throwing coins, no throwing nothing. Absolutely well done to you as all. Neil Warnock waved at me yesterday, says Lauren Kenny. Oh, thanks, Lauren. Exactly, Huddersfield fans across, says Acacia. Huddersfield are going to batter us. We're going to get battered off us, sorry. But UTB basically means up the blade as Neil Warnock faces former club he managed. Yes, indeed, he managed Sheffield United from, I think it was 2004, 2005 season, somewhere like that. I don't know where it was, but Lauren Kenny, she says, you must have thought, what the fuck is that redhead doing? So, Paul, we're going to move on to you now. You've had plenty to say. Sunderland 1, Huddersfield 1. I would love to hear your reaction. Go ahead.
Well, like I said to you, Brad, I actually was a bit disappointed with the well, I know one person that was definitely disappointed that was actually sat next to me during the game. Even the case will tell you, Bowers was actually frustrated like mad because Bowers actually almost kicked a seat in the southwest corner. He was that frustrated. But for me, like I said to you, Brad, 19 points. We have actually lost. Well, not lost, but we've actually thrown away at home.
Yeah,
since Mowbray's actually arrived.
So that's basically how many games? 6 losses, basically. That's 6 losses we've thrown away, basically at home. Bloody hell. That is terrible.
Yeah, Mowbray actually was fuming last night.
Yeah. We move over to Amph now. Amph, 1-1 draw against Huddersfield. What did you think of it overall?
It's the classic story of a tale of two halves, really. Sunderland, much better team in the first half, deservedly went ahead. That goal was pure brilliant from Amad Diallo passing it through to Gelhardt. The shot, I wasn't even sure it was actually in the back of the net for like 3-4 seconds because it was so off the cuff from Gelhardt. So I'm expecting him to try and take another 5-6 yards towards the keeper and then shoot and sky it. So completely unexpected. It was a really well taken goal from Gelhardt. And then I think Warnock did the magic at halftime for Huddersfield. They came out, they picked their heads up off the Rosses a bit and punished us, and rightly so because we thought we'd won it at that stage. I reckon comfortable, keep a clean sheet, game's done. Let's not exert too much energy because West Brom on the weekend is going to be a bigger battle. So I think tactically we got it completely wrong in the second half, and that's not an uncommon story for Tony Mowbray. Maybe it is a case of he does heavily rely on presetting the times for people coming on the pitch. But one thing I will say is when we took Gelhardt off, the last 10 minutes after that, Huddersfield didn't really know how to react to it and who was to mark who, because everybody seemed to have their set roles in for the rest of the game. And then was Anderson came on and shook things up a bit. Our formation was it went from like a 4-2-3-1 to like a 4-2-2-2-2 basically. And I don't know if that was the vital sign. I think if we did that maybe 20 minutes earlier, we would have created bigger gaps through the centre of Huddersfield and got a second goal. But fair play to Huddersfield for getting a point, because I think that does help them with their survival. In the last couple of weeks, they've picked up big points against other teams as well. So it's not like it's out of the blue for them. If we played them maybe 2 months ago before Warnock came in, I think we would have absolutely dominated you. It's as simple as that. But yeah, I think it's a fair result, but disappointing. Essentially, that's it.
Very disappointing. definitely. Acacia Cameron Jude says we could have had lots of more chances to get goals in the second half, though, she said. Yeah.
The thing is, the shots were never on target. There were pop shots. They skewed into the rafters. It was none of our shots and none of our play in the second half in the final third was composed. None of it was. So
one player last night, Paul. I don't know if you actually agree with me, but one player who definitely looked off was Jack Lark. I don't know if you actually agree with me, but he actually looked well off.
Oh, Ant doesn't agree with that.
I really don't. I think he was our man of the match. I genuinely think he was a man of the match. He had the running down the left hand wing. Like he's breaking players. The only thing is, like I said, the composure in the final third was where it let us down. Sometimes it was his cross, and sometimes it was the man not being in the right position. So I don't agree with it.
The thing is with Clark, though, he doesn't cross the ball. He loves to cut inside. He loves to cut past the man. He doesn't like crossing for some reason.
Yeah, he done that in like minute 2, and I think that's put everybody's like perception of his entire game on. He did that for like in the first 2 minutes, got tackled for doing it, and everybody was like, "Well, that was shit." So the rest of the game is shit. It really wasn't. If you take that first 2 minutes aside and like think that never happened, he had a really good game.
Just your opinion. I'll take it with all respect.
From a Huddersfield perspective, though, who do you think was their best player on the pitch?
Our best player definitely was Josh Koroma. Josh Koroma was just outstanding, really, for us, and caused a few problems, and obviously got his goal as well. He's just a real spark for me at the moment with us, our side. So yeah, definitely Koroma for me.
Yeah, Koroma as well for me. I've seen him play some good balls last night.
Yeah.
Also, I left in about the 75th minute because I had enough. I went out the car park, obviously. I listened to BBC Newcastle, and all I heard for 5 minutes was Komora's name constantly. Komora's name. I think that's how you pronounce it. Keep having shots and whatnot. And obviously, Clark, I think it was in the 90+2nd minute, he had a shot, but he, instead of shooting it, he passed it to somebody, then they completely missed it. So instead of Clark passing it to somebody, then shoot, I think he should shoot himself. I don't know if anyone agrees with that, but I think.
Yeah. The person he passed it to, I think, had a worse game than him. Diallo.
Yeah.
Diallo had a much worse game than Jack Clark, so that's why I'm a little bit surprised by it. He had that one good pass, but before that, he was missing everything. He was either too fast or too slow for every single pass that he was trying to do. He never seemed to be on the correct pace.
Yeah,
that's the nature of football.
Fair play to Diallo, though. He has played well all season, which no one should say he can't, because he has. And obviously, everyone can have their off game, which I play football for a Sunday league club. I used to anyway, and I used to have a lot of off games. But when I came back to be best, we all have off games.
Well, he is our top. Diallo is our top scorer, isn't he? So like, it's not like. Yeah, he's leapfrogged Ross Stewart now, but. Yeah. Still, like I do think he had an off game, and it surprises me that nobody mentions that because he is our top scorer. I think. Yeah, you can call out players when they have bad games. I think Danny Bath had a bad game as well. To be honest,
he's actually injured, unfortunately.
He's injured. Yeah, he's injured, unfortunately.
It'll be a big miss on. Danny Bath will be a big miss on Sunday if he's missing.
He will. It'll be a big miss for him as well. Mishut is getting assessed apparently for Sunday's game because apparently there was a bit of damage somewhere. So
something to do with his back, apparently.
Yeah, he's got something to do with his back, but he will be assessed for the game on Sunday against West Brom at 12 o'clock. So we'll talk about that in a bit. So a couple of questions, obviously, for the Huddersfield fan who's on here, Ryan, who hasn't had much to say really because I haven't asked him much. So Ryan, for a Sunderland point of view, What do you think of our fan base? Do you think our fan base is quite big?
Yeah, it's definitely big. Like, it's really impressive. You obviously really do fill the ground. Pretty much. Really, obviously get a good crowd in. Although last night I kind of expected you to have a bit more of an atmosphere. Obviously, I don't know what it's been like this season, but for me it was a bit. Obviously, maybe the game was not the best. Obviously, when you were free flowing, obviously playing a lot better than you did last night, maybe it would have been a lot louder. But I kind of expected a bit more of an atmosphere last night. But yeah, you can't fault the fan base. Obviously, it's a really good followed club. Obviously, and yeah, fair play to obviously, back in the Championship this season, you've really held your own and really fantastic. Obviously, you're up there for a reason, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So it really is impressive how you have managed to come back up and really, really have a fantastic season. So yeah.
Yeah. Got the question for TSG before we move on to something else. I don't get how the lads have missed those chances, but we'll move on to West Brom on Sunday. Indeed, we do. It'll be a draw for West Brom, I think, as Jed Wallace will score against us again. To be honest, because
they could be missing 7 players on Sunday.
And their striker's out for 9 months with Achilles injury, same as Ross Stewart. So I'm thinking that Sunderland will probably get the win on Sunday. I think we'll win 2-1 on Sunday against West Brom. Don't know what you think, but we'll go to that in a minute. On the live chat as well, we've got Jason. He says, all right, lads. Yeah, we're not too bad, Jason. What about you? We now move on to West Bromwich Albion on Sunday afternoon. 12 o'clock kickoff at West Bromwich Albion Stadium. I can't remember what it's called. It's been a long time since we've been down there. Hawthorns, that's it. I'm thinking the Hawthorns. Yeah, known as the Hawthorns. So, Paul, obviously, what you've just said there, West Brom could be missing 7 players, including their striker, who's out for Achilles. So, how do you think this game's going to plan out? What do you think is going to happen now?
It'll be interesting because, we don't know if how long Danny Bath is going to be out for.
Mm-hmm.
So probably, if he's missing Sunday's game, probably Anderson will come in, or will it be Serkin? Because Serkin will be back for Sunday.
Serkin will be back from his what's it called, his red card, wouldn't he?
Yeah, so probably Serkin that'll come in.
Because Mowbray says he wasn't actually going to start Joe Anderson, but he didn't have no choice to bring him on yesterday, did he really, for Danny Bath? Because obviously there's no other option. Because obviously Dennis Serkin, with his 1-game suspension, couldn't obviously feature.
Well, Mowbray said Serkin wouldn't have played yesterday anyway, even if he was suspended or not. He wouldn't have played him.
Oh, I forgot to talk about this point as well. We'll talk about it after, to be honest. So, what's your score predictions for Sunday, and what do you think will happen for this game?
So I'm hoping for a 2-0 win, but anything but a loss would be ideal, really. If we beat them, we leapfrog them, regardless of what's happened over the last week. We need to leapfrog them. They're in 6th, and if we leapfrog them, we will potentially be in that playoff spot. So if we lose, I think it's one of those things where we can basically kiss playoffs as a goodbye, and that's our season done and dusted. But for me, it's our first of 3 must wins for anything to happen potentially. Our season's still alive with it. What I'm more concerned about, though, is how we change and adapt with those injuries and those forced substitutions. If he doesn't rate Anderson to start, and he was very reluctant to put him on off the bench, why is he even in the squad at all? If Mowbray is that, are we that desperate for players essentially at this stage of the season? And yeah, as long as we don't lose, I think it's going to be a bonus for us against West Brom. Just so you're aware, the 1945 kickoffs today have just gone off. So, yeah, some big potential moves at the top and bottom of the table are happening as we speak.
Indeed. Ryan, a question for you. Obviously, you've got a free weekend against Sheffield United because obviously they were away to Wembley against Manchester City in the semi-final, of the FA Cup. Obviously, your intent is to Cardiff City on the 30th of April, your next current game. How do you think this one's going to go for you? Because obviously it's not for a while yet, but obviously we can talk about it.
Obviously, very early start on Sunday next week. Obviously, Sky have moved it to a 12 o'clock kickoff, which is just absolutely criminal, but, that's what Sky like, we know this. But, this is a must-win game for us. I'm sorry, we have to win this game. We are able to rest up these next 11 days, whereas Cardiff will be playing, well, including tonight, so they'll play 3 times before we play them. So I'm hoping that gives us a bit of an edge as well. But, if we play like we did against you last night, I think we can beat them playing like that. I do, because Cardiff, and we'll certainly get, a few more opportunities for sure. I know we're away, but so yeah, I'm feeling quietly confident, but of course, it just feels like a must-win game, really, because they're a team around us, and you have to be you really do have to be picking points, against teams around you. And yeah, it's a massive game. But yeah, we have to go there and play our game, and hopefully, if we do win this, then it will be a big step towards safety. If we can, I suppose it depends what the other results are going to happen in the next, few games. But it's still going to be, if results do go our way in the next few, I think we can really, if we win that game next weekend, then it gives us a big hope of staying up. So yeah, it is really massive. A 6-pointer, effectively, for me. But yeah, I do feel like we can get a result, and like I say, if we can rest up, obviously we will do, and then, be ready we'll be really up for it, ready for the game, so refreshed after a bit of a break, and hopefully that's the telling factor as well. But I think we do we've got real quality in our squad, and I do believe, we can have it's just been a terrible season, but we can match anybody in this league, and we've proven that in the past few games of how we've played. But we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see what happens. But anything other than a win, I think I'll be disappointed if we don't. If we draw, I don't think I'll be happy. We have to win this. So yeah.
Yeah, of course. What's your score prediction? Cardiff.
Oh, I hadn't even thought about this yet. But if I had to give a score prediction, I think that they'll probably score, but I think we will win. I think we'll win 2-1. I think it'll be really tight, but I think we'll get a 2-1 win. Yeah.
2-1. Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Huddersfield will go down to Johnny 21 now. I think they're all gone now. I think they'll stay up now. I think so. I'll come on and talk about the West Brom game. Okay, Keisha, no worries. Johnny 21 says Sunderland will just miss out on playoffs. Don't know. Possibly that might be obviously the fair thing. We'll miss out on playoffs. But hi everyone, says Craig Jeff. Hello, Craig. All right. So our question is for Acacia comes on. Obviously, we are still in the playoff race, obviously. We can't doubt that playoffs is not over yet, because it's not over yet until the final game. We've got, obviously, West Brom, we've got Watford, and we've got Preston. So, Paul, if we beat West Brom, and if we draw against Watford and win Preston, do you think playoffs is still on?
That's tough. Tough to answer. For me, I I actually said to Bowers last night when we left the ground, for me, we would have to win the next 3 games to get playoffs. We would have to win them both.
I think
I think we'll win them. I don't know. I think it could come down to the last game against Preston.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Sunderland's not over yet for playoffs, obviously. So, Acacia. Obviously. Hello, Acacia. You've just tuned in. Good evening.
Evening.
It's a Sheffield United lover as well as a Sunderland lover. So
do not. Oh, hang on. Do not mention it on this stream, Brad. Do not mention Blades just yet.
So, obviously, Huddersfield Town was 1-1 draw last night, wasn't it, Acacia?
Yep.
So, what did you think of that game? We might as well get your thoughts as well. Like, what,
honestly, fuck me. But Paul will agree with me with this, because obviously I was stood with them till like 90th minute last night.
Mm-hmm.
I was literally human as well as Michael was. I was just like, what the hell were we playing at? Couldn't even score goals. I was like, what was Ahmad playing at? Not even having a chance to get a goal in the back of the net. And then Joe Gellert, why did he even get I was just like, Joe Gellert could have got a second goal in the second half, but it was a good chance for him, to be honest.
Yeah.
But then Jack Clark, what the hell was he doing? And I was like, and then we could have had a penalty in the second half, but the ref just went, nah, ignored it. So
yeah, of course, yeah. So what did you think overall, Acacia? What did you think overall?
I just thought we could have had that win last night, but at least it was a draw last night for us.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, we are going to move on to West Brom as well on Sunday. The face attention to West Brom.
Wait, because I'm going to West Brom on Sunday.
Yeah, by the way, this Acacia, Cameron Jude, she goes to most of the away games if she can. Acacia, West Brom on Sunday, 12 o'clock kickoff. What is your thoughts here?
Well, I've just put in the chat that we'll probably win 3-2 for us. Obviously, Jed Wallace will score one. He's a really good, he's a proper threat against us, like he was at Stadium Light against us. And then obviously Dyke's out injured for 9 months, so that's actually good news for us that he's not playing. I think Jed Wallace will get 2 against us, to be honest. I think they'll get a penalty, like where I can't remember where they are in the table now, but I think they're a good team, to be honest. But we need to get in.
Sixth.
Oh yeah, they're 6th. So
they're in playoff position.
Yeah, so to be honest, we need to get the win on Sunday against West Brom, and hopefully we'll get in the playoffs, and West Brom will go down to 8th.
Yeah. From where I was sitting, Pritchard dived.
He did dive. He did.
Did he? Okay. I thought he never dived, but okay, that's just my opinion. Okay. Obviously, I've seen Pritchard go down. He had his hands around the referee, and apparently think there was a penalty, but obviously they didn't give it.
But can I just say, last night was so funny. The referee fell over last night. That was so funny.
Yeah, he did actually.
That was so funny.
When was that? Must have been an hour.
It was in the second half.
Was it? I must have left around then, like I normally do.
I think you were in the ground at the time, Brad. I think when it happened.
Yeah, you know what I messaged you last night, Paul, saying, "Oh, wave at us last night." Did you actually see us wave back at you?
Yeah, I did actually.
Yeah, because Paul was waving down to us Acacia, and I was trying to wave back.
I'd literally left as soon as, because Paul saw me leave. It was when the players went off. I clapped them first, though.
I didn't clap them off.
Well, obviously, I know you didn't, Pugs. You messaged me last night, which is fair enough, because obviously we didn't do that well. But Paul saw me leave, so I didn't really see you when Silas went out of the ground, because me and my mum parked in St Mary's car park.
Is that the one next to St. Peter's?
Yeah. So we just went to the car. We were literally on the top floor, on the third floor, and we saw the ground from the view that our car was at. So
yeah, Craig's got on the live chat. He says, "Do want playoffs? Very unlikely. We'll win this."
yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens against Watford as well, though. To be honest, but
we'll have to wait and see if this game against Preston as well goes. This might probably go down to the wire. This probably for playoffs positions.
But I can see us getting a win at Preston because Ched Evans is out injured and he's in the hospital at the minute, so it's not looking good.
I seen Watford's fucking run of form as well.
Yeah. I'm telling you now. Watch Chris Wilder's face when we flipping face in the arm. Watch his flipping face. I will warn you now. I will warn you.
Jack Lincoln says there was no intent to go forward. Warnock got his team correct. Exactly.
Right, Brad and Paul. Didn't I tell you this? Didn't I tell you to this?
Yeah, you did.
I told you to this that Neil Warnock would get all this correct in the second half.
Warnock actually didn't make any changes last night. Did you notice?
Yeah.
I think because obviously he's had years of experience as a manager. Obviously, I think he's managed since the 80s. Neil Warnock, he's managed since he was 40 or something.
Yeah, he's 74 or 75 now.
Bloody heck, and he's still managing. Bloody heck.
Yeah.
God, the only regret of him actually was not taking his other job.
Imagine if you did take the Sunderland job. Where did you think you would have?
I would. If that would have happened, I would have screamed my head off. I would have screamed.
If Neil Warnock would have took another job, where do you think we would be now? Be honest.
Yeah, don't know.
I want honesty off Paul.
Think about it.
Paul?
I don't know, because I think he was offered the job when Bob Murray was our owner. I think that's when he was offered it.
Jack actually agrees. When I started the podcast with Jack Clark was bad. He needs to learn to shoot.
Exactly. He was shitting second half. Exactly.
He needs to learn to shoot. Not to pass to the player, because half of the time when he passes to the player, half of them just go goes either over the bar.
Can I just tell you? DJ's just putting the chat that me and Paul are in. Preston are losing.
Who said that?
CJ, Preston are losing at the minute.
Yeah, they are.
Preston are losing. Oh, yep. Who are they playing? Is this good?
They're playing Swansea. They're playing Swansea.
Bloody hell, this is even better for us when Preston's losing against Swansea. Everybody on the live chat, if obviously Sunderland fans are listening in. Jesus,
I can give you an update as to how the current results stand. So Preston and Norwich are both behind, which helps us out massively.
Norwich are behind as well.
Norwich are 1-0 behind. The result that we are really hoping that goes our way is Blackburn Coventry. They draw. Everybody below us is losing. So that keeps the status quo, but Watford are climbing back up into that. So it does mean like when we play Watford, they're still in with a shout just as much as we are, because we're both on 62 points if the results stand as is. So they have the exact same amount of chances getting into the playoffs as we do. So we've got to bear that in mind.
Yeah, because for Watford, Sar's gone and scored again, their main striker.
Just to let you know, guys, we are not on 254 subscribers anymore. We are on 255 because someone has just subscribed. That is George Huddersfield Town, who was in the chat earlier. So big up to you, Huddersfield Town fan. Hope good luck to you all for the rest of the season. I reckon you'll stay up under Warnock.
You'll stay up, definitely.
Yeah, because Warnock knows what he's doing as a manager.
Yeah, he flipping does.
He's doing it for years.
He flipping does.
Obviously, we're only 45 away from our intended target. That's 300 subscribers. Obviously, we had a 250 subscriber party about a week and a half ago. So thank you to everyone who has managed to get up to 250. Appreciate that. Thank you. So, Jack, like he says, we need to stop trying walking into this. Exactly. We need to try and walk. James Bunn on the chat. He says, "Hi Bradley." Hi James, you alright? He's a Newcastle fan, but big you, James. He's a good lad from college, to be honest. Obviously, let's think what else we can talk about before we wrap the stream up.
What did you think of the walk around last night, Brad? Because I know you.
Oh,
I know you were furious last night with it.
This, right? Okay. Roker End, if you're listening, anybody listening in this Roker End, listen back.
We're fucking
podcast. You need to take a big hard look of yourself, seriously, what you're doing to this fan base. Roker End fans, how are you? We need to step the gear up a bit more. Every time when I was chanting, how are you, lads, how are you, lads, how are you, lads, how are you, everyone was just fucking copying. When I started the chant off, everyone just decided to copy. But however, man, can you not make it own up? At least one of you in the Huddersfield, in the Roker End.
At least we're not Wigan. At least we're not Wigan.
Wigan.
I sang that actually. As when I left the ground, I said to Bowers, "Come on, let's start a chant when we leave the ground." I actually sang that.
Craig Scott, he says, looks like Watford turning around another hard game.
Right, Craig, I am going to tell you now, flipping Chris Wilder is a flipping legend. I will tell you that he's a legend. So I'm just that's all I'm saying.
Obviously, once again, he's another ex-Blades manager. He knows
what, he knows what to flipping do. So I will, that's all I'm saying.
Obviously, I think it was 2019 to 2020 season they got them promoted from the
that's when we got promoted from League One 6 years ago the other day.
Yeah, and also
he was linked with us when we got Donald.
Yeah, it's when we battered Northampton away.
Yeah. So the Roker End, just please next time on Saturday next week against Watford, please show your support because
Reading and Luton have just kicked off.
Reading and Luton has just kicked off.
The news, Brad. Did you hear what what the Southwest Corner was saying? Because
all I could hear last night from your end, Paul, all I could hear from Southwest Corner was selling like crazy. That's all I heard.
Well,
I heard
when the Roker End started emptying, our end went. The buses came early. You know, when they started emptying, our end was like, "Oh, the buses came early."
Neil Warnock, he says, Neil Warnock, Barney Army. We should have beat you yesterday, to be honest, and hi to Ryan Aidan Tate, Huddersfield fan.
I think on paper, I think on paper we should have beaten them, but football's not played on paper.
Please hit the notification. Well, that would be great. Saw versus Gooch from Craig Scott.
That'd be interesting.
Don't mention flipping Gooch because I will kick off. So don't mention Gooch to me. Don't mention it. I will kick off.
I can't believe you don't have many games left of the season. I think that means we've only got like 3 games of the season left, James. We've got West Brom coming up on Sunday. We've got Preston North End coming up at the end of the season, and we've got Watford between those fixtures as well.
Yeah, Watford on Saturday.
Come on.
We'll be going to
Preston on Monday.
And Preston on Monday. Also a big thank you to Sunderland Football Club as well for selling that allocation now for Preston North End. You greedy people, because I couldn't even get myself a ticket. But
come on, I'm going.
I'm going.
You go as well. Watford, I'm not expecting nothing from that, says Jack.
I'm not going to the Watford game because it was my last home game of the season last night.
Yeah, it's on Sky, James, on Sunday. Yeah, West Brom's on Sky on Sunday. Yeah. I think we will get 1 win out of 3 and finish 9th. Wow, 1 win out of 3.
Come on, Swansea. Come on.
I think we'll win 2 and draw 1. That's what I think. Anyway, I don't think we'll lose.
Let me guess, you're predicting we'll draw against Preston.
No, we'll draw against Watford. We'll draw 1-1 against Watford. And we'll probably win a tight 1-0 against Preston, and that'll probably make us go to playoff positions. Fingers crossed. If all results stay away.
Oh,
The
what
thing
was
is, Preston could even get to the playoffs as well.
I know Preston could even go up there as well. That's what I'm thinking as well. Acacia Cameron Jude, obviously. Good luck to all the Blades fans next week because obviously after their Wembley party, against Manchester City in the semi-final, they've got a championship game on the 25th of. Is it the 25th against?
hang on.
26th against West Brom.
Yep.
And again, we
West
ain't ready for playoffs. West Brom, is that on the 25th, West Brom?
No, the 26th. We've
26th.
got West Brom.
Right.
8 o'clock kick-off.
26th, so that's next Wednesday. So obviously, if you beat them next Wednesday, that will be you automatically promoted if Newton get beat.
Well, fingers crossed if we can flip in get Ollie McBurney starting again.
Yeah. Said again, we ain't ready for playoffs. How are you, man, Craig? You know what it is, right? I know we're not ready for playoffs, but this is the best we've been in years since obviously coming up from a league. Like we're coming from League One last season, and now look where we are in the Championship. I bet you everyone on this channel, and I mean everyone on this channel, thought that we're going to go for a relegation fight. I bet you.
No.
No.
But
Is
Tony
Sunderland?
Mowbray? No.
No, we didn't have Tony Mowbray at the start of the season. We had Alex Neil.
Alex
But
Neil.
Go on, Swansea.
We wouldn't have
There you
went
go.
down under Alex Neil.
Oh my God!
What about you, Am? What about you? Would you agree or would you disagree or would you?
I think the majority of fans were like, let's see how high we can go, but as long as we're not in a relegation battle at the end of the season, it's a successful one. And yeah, all of them fans were bang on. The fact is, Rotherham have done miles better than the champions. The champions are now the bottom of this league. It's it just proves that you can have a fantastic season, but it doesn't matter how good you were last. It's what you do in this. So
of course. Yeah,
I think what we've done better than Wigan and Rotherham is our recruitment. I know it sounds really daft considering how many issues we've got defensively and up front, but we've bought and brought in players that we can afford and that are hungry to play. They haven't done that. They haven't done that.
Exactly. We've brought in obviously in January window. I think we only brought in one signing, which was Abdul Abar and Johannesson as well. We brought in.
We brought in four people in the window in January. Ekwa, Gelhart, Anderson, and Lahaji.
Oh yeah,
Lahaji as well.
Yeah. Four transfers in January window. That's quite good. Anyway,
Anderson arrived on the deadline day.
Yeah, and then can I just say thank you to Rotherham for getting that 2-2 draw against Burnley last night.
Let's go to the meltdowns if we don't get the playoffs. Well, there shouldn't be meltdowns. There shouldn't be meltdowns, you know, Craig, because obviously this is our first season back up, and none of us were expecting playoffs this season. And to be honest, I was expecting a mid-table. To be honest, I was expecting to finish about 9th or 10th, possibly top half. But obviously not the playoffs.
So, as it stands, mate, from 5th through to 12th, so the literal top half of the table, anybody in the top half of the table is fighting for those last two playoff places. 65 points to 61 points with Norwich. It's all up for grabs. You've got to win the games to be in it. So if we win all 3 games, we're in the playoffs. It's as simple as that. But we haven't won 3 games on the bounce all season. So just keep the faith. We can do it. And then, we only need to win. Well, to be fair, we only need to win 6 games in a row and we're in the Premier League. So... it's literal facts. It's literal facts. Just 6 wins in a row.
I'm not looking forward to that. If we face flipping Man City, I'm not looking forward to that.
So obviously,
the team we've got at the moment.
So basically, what we could say is let's just count this as 3 cup finals. If we get through, let's count it as another 3 cup finals. Obviously, we've got the semi-legs twice. Then you've got the final coming up. So think about the 6 cup finals. if we get through.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
is Mowbray built for that though?
Well,
We'll find out.
The thing is, we'll find out nearer the time. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Never say never, Hans.
Anyway, we're up to the 50. We're up to the 55-minute mark. We're going to try and keep this an hour short. So, we're going to go to transfers in the summer window now. Where do you think we'll need to strengthen in the summer window, if possible? Paul, we'll go to you first.
Striker for straight away.
Striker straight away, indeed.
Because Gelhardt's going to go back to Leeds.
Mm-hmm.
We'll only have Ross Stewart.
That's if he's here.
No. So shall I go through who's out of contract this summer for you?
Mm-hmm.
Joe Gelhardt, Amad Diallo, and Edward Michu all return on loan. Ross Stewart,
Mowbray's
Alex
actually
Pritchard,
hinted that
and Danny Bath.
Michu will come back.
We have to purchase for $5 million.
We'll do it. We'll do it.
Yeah,
but can I just say, apparently Tony Mowbray has hinted that we want to keep Michu for permanent.
Yeah, I put that in the Facebook group chat yesterday that we're in Wyndham, in case Paul said as well.
Right. So basically, Danny Bath, Alex Pritchard, and Ross Stewart, which I think are 3 first-team players at the minute, are out of contract this summer.
Wait, I thought Alex Pritchard and Danny Bath's extended their contracts by you.
No, Pritchard didn't. He didn't.
Did he not? He did, didn't he?
No, he didn't.
That was automatically renewed.
No, he's not extended it yet.
That must be fake.
Contract lengths, though, aside, it doesn't really matter. Like, people can buy out contracts, so we could lose everybody. The one player that we do want to lose, by the way, is Jack Diamond. He can fuck off.
He can just get lost.
Who's he?
Yeah.
Who's he?
He can go and fuck off and join the other ones in Prison FC.
Who's he, Lo? I've never heard of Jack Diamond.
He's in contract till 2024, mate. It's ridiculous.
Oh, hey. Oh, God.
Free transfer out.
Danny Bath's extension has been triggered, and so is Pritchard's apparently.
They've been triggered, but they haven't been completed. That's the thing. So
yeah,
you can trigger the clauses.
As well.
Yeah. So
Pritchard could even say no.
Yeah. You got centre back, a cam, and a striker, and I think obviously Stewart's been injured the entire time. His value has dropped massively because of his injury. He was looking at about 15-20 million, wasn't he, to go to Scottish teams? But
yeah, he was.
They're not going to pay that for him now. Not that he's proven he's a glass slipper.
Yeah.
Can I just quickly say? Obviously, I'm watching the footy, which is Swansea, Preston. So I'll keep you updated.
Okay, keep us updated on that one, will you? So also, Acacia, where do you think we need to strengthen in the summer window? Where do you think?
Obviously, like Paul said, strikers, of course. I think we need more defenders because obviously Danny Bath's now injured, because obviously centre backs as well. I think defenders probably, midfielders definitely. Because obviously Elliott's still out, injured at the minute. He's doing his rehab until end of April. So probably a midfielder. Yeah. And yeah,
okay. Just to let you know, everyone on the live chat as well, that Cardiff City has drawn against Watford. Titi has drawn in the 31st minute. Just to let everyone know. So that might be good for us as well. Because Cardiff,
it's really good for us.
It is really good for us, apparently, I would say, because I'm at 12 on 60 points so far.
Yep. I was just about to say that Watford are down to 12 at the minute.
Preston would you actually get a backup keeper?
Yes, we definitely need a backup keeper, Paul, because obviously Alex Bass, obviously I'm thinking he'll go out on loan next season. I don't know if you actually agree with that one, Paul. Do you think Alex Bass will go off on loan next season and we'll actually get an experienced championship?
I think Bass will probably spend more time with the academy because
academy could be
Jacob Carney is actually out of contract.
Yeah. What about you, Am? Do you think we need a championship experience quality goalkeeper, obviously, for second backup as well as Patterson.
Not really. I think Patterson's our number one. He'll be our number one for a while. Bass, he'll leave just because he's not getting any game time. He's the most experienced bench warmer of this season. So he's all right sitting on the bench, but we've never really needed them in the games. I don't think we need a second goalkeeper unless Patterson gets injured, and then bring in one of the academy players. I don't really care who it is. It's a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
The longest will be without a dedicated goalkeeper is 10, 15 games. So
yeah.
I don't know.
We can go on the emergency market for a goalkeeper.
Yeah, we'll
Patterson gets injured.
Market if needed. For me,
and obviously Joe Anderson's going to be leaving on loan at the end of the season.
Yeah, he is. Well.
I've got a bit of a question for you, though. If you're looking for experienced championship players, who would you pick from the relegated teams? Like, which players would you go? They would fit really well in our team. So that's definitely Wigan. That's definitely Blackpool, and maybe Reading or Cardiff. Who would you have?
I don't want Charlie Wycombe, Max Power, but no flipping chance.
And that's not the question. No, but yeah, like, is there anybody in those teams that you would have in our team?
I would have Jerry Yates.
Jerry Yates would need.
So would I.
That's free
agreement at some point.
Free agreements there for definitely.
Watford are losing now, by the way.
Come on, Swansea. Go on.
Watford are losing.
Shoot! Come on, Swansea! Yes!
She was like this last night.
I'm just going to quickly change my screen now, lads, so you can see the live table.
We can as well.
There we go.
This is good. So
let me make it a bit bigger for you. There you go.
Oh, look at the table case here.
Oh, Swansea getting beat.
Hang on. No, Swansea winning.
Preston are getting beat 2-0 against Swansea now.
Yeah.
This all gets better for us now.
Yeah, because Joe Allen scored.
And the best result in the Blackpool Coventry game is a draw, because if either of those win, it's an extra 2 points. We have to climb back.
Yeah.
So yeah, every result right now is going perfectly for us.
Yeah,
it's because we're live.
Anyway, then, guys, we have kept it over the hour mark now, so we are going to go off now. So we're currently on 255 subscribers. Another 45 would do us a world of good to get us 300 by the end of the season. Please don't forget to hit the notification bell and like this video. Much appreciated. And from Brad, from Paul.
See you next time.
Do the Donald Duck.
Oh my God!
No,
please don't. Please don't.
Brad's gonna do it.
I'll do it off stream, but I'll do. I'll wait.
Say goodbye, everyone. Acacia.
See you later. Up the fucking let's for Saturday. Come on.
Everyone, see you later.